Chapter 2, Episode 1 of Tartarin of Tarascon. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Tartarin of Tarascon by Alphonse Daudet. Episode the first, in Tarascon. Chapter 2, a general glance bestowed upon the good town of Tarascon, and a particular one on the cap poppers. At the time I am telling of, Tartarin of Tarascon had not become the present-day Tartarin, the great one so popular in the whole south of France. But yet he was even then the cock of the walk at Tarascon. Let us show whence arose this sovereignty. In the first place, you must know that everybody is shooting mad in these parts, from the greatest to the least. The chase is the local craze, and so it has ever been since the mythological times when the Tarasque, as the county dragon was called, flourished himself and his tail in the town marshes, and entertained shooting parties got up against him. So you see, the passion has lasted a goodish bit. It follows that every Sunday morning Tarascon flies to arms, lets loose the dogs of the hunt, and rushes out of its walls with game bag slung and fowling piece on the shoulder, together with a hurly-burly of hounds, cracking of whips, and blowing of whistles and hunting horns. It's splendid to see. Unfortunately, there's a lack of game, an absolute dearth. Stupid as the brute creation is, you can readily understand that, in time, it learnt some distrust. For 5 leagues around about Tarascon, forms, lairs, and burrows are empty, and nesting places abandoned. You'll not find a single quail or blackbird, one little leveret, or the tiniest tit. And yet the pretty hillocks are mightily tempting, sweet-smelling as they are of myrtle, lavender, and rosemary; and the fine muscatels plumped out with sweetness even unto bursting, as they spread along the banks of the Rhone, are deucedly tempting too. True, but Tarascon lies behind all this, and Tarascon is down in the black books of the world of fur and feather. The very birds of passage have ticked it off on their guide-books, and when the wild ducks, coming down towards the Camargue in long triangles, spy the town steeples from afar, the outmost flyers squawk out loudly, "Look out! There's Tarascon! Give Tarascon the go-by, duckies!" And the flocks take a swerve. In short, as far as game goes, there's not a specimen left in the land, save one old rogue of a hare, escaped by miracle from the massacres, who is stubbornly determined to stick to it all his life. He is very well known at Tarascon, and the name has been given him. Rapid is what they call him. It is known that he has his farm on Mr. Bombard's grounds, which, by the way, has doubled, tripled the value of the property. But nobody has yet managed to lay him low. At present only 2 or 3 inveterate fellows worry themselves about him. The rest have given him up as a bad job, and old Rapid has long ago passed into the legendary world, although your Tarasconer is very slightly superstitious naturally, and would eat cock robins on toast, or the swallow, which is Our Lady's own bird, for that matter, if he could find any. "But that won't do," you will say. "Inasmuch as game is so scarce, what can the sportsmen do every Sunday?" What can they do? Why, goodness gracious, they go out into the real country 2 or 3 leagues from town. They gather in knots of 5 or 6, recline tranquilly in the shade of some well-oiled wall or olive tree, extract from their game bags a good-sized piece of boiled beef, raw onions, a sausage, and anchovies, and commence a next to endless snack, washed down with one of those nice Rhone wines, which sets a toper laughing and singing. After that, when thoroughly braced up, they rise, whistle the dogs to heel, set the guns on half-cock, and go on the shoot. Another way of saying that every man plucks off his cap, shies it up with all his might, and pops it on the fly with number 5, 6, or 2 shot, according to what he is loaded for. The man who lodges most shot in his cap is hailed as king of the hunt, and stalks back triumphantly at dusk into Tarascon, with his riddled cap on the end of his gun barrel, amid any quantity of dog barks and horn blasts. It is needless to say that cap selling is a fine business in the town. There are even some hatters who sell hunting caps ready shot, torn, and perforated for the bad shots. But the only buyer known is the chemist Bezuquet. This is dishonorable. As a marksman at caps, Tartarin of Tarascon never had his match. Every Sunday morning, out he would march in a new cap, and back he would strut every Sunday evening with a mere thing of shreds. The loft of Baobab Villa was full of these glorious trophies. Hence all Tarascon acknowledged him as master, and as Tartarin thoroughly understood hunting, and had read all the handbooks of all possible kinds of venery, from cap popping to Burmese tiger shooting, the sportsmen constituted him their great cynegetical judge, and took him for referee and arbitrator in all their differences. Between 3 and 4 daily, at Costecalde the gunsmith's, a stout, stern pipe smoker might be seen in a green leather-covered armchair, in the centre of the shop, crammed with cap poppers, they all on foot and wrangling. This was Tartarin of Tarascon, delivering judgment. Nimrod plus Solomon. End of chapter 2 of episode 1. Recording by Ezwa in Belgium in August 2010.